Time now for our business roundup for the day. Brian Quinn joins me. Hello to you, Brian.
How are you going to show?
We are starting with the latest in a long-running battle between the US and China over some of the world's most popular apps.
Indeed, the Trump administration says new downloads of video sharing platform TikTok will be banned on US app stores as of Monday. For WeChat, the Chinese-owned app that serves as social network, payment service, and e-commerce platform, the ban is far more comprehensive. Trump says it's all about national security. Many, though, see the move as part of a tug-of-war between Washington and Beijing over digital supremacy. Luke Schrago has the latest.
TikTok and WeChat, the latest casualties of the trade war between the US and China. At least once, Washington's ban on both the Chinese apps goes into effect on Sunday night.
The Chinese Communist Party has demonstrated the means to use these apps to threaten the national security, foreign policy, and the economy of the U.S. We have taken significant action to combat China's malicious collection of American citizens' personal data.
The ban will prevent new downloads and upgrades to TikTok already on smartphones within the United States. For WeChat, it goes further still. A one-stop shop hugely popular in China for messaging, social media and mobile payments. The app will see fund transfers, payment processing and even web hosting, and any use of its code by its American partners halted, effectively crippling it in the States. Those restrictions will apply to video sharing app TikTok as well, starting November 12th, though it'll still function in the meantime without upgrades. It gives owner ByteDance breathing room to close a deal to keep its US operations running. California business software firm Oracle had been set to purchase a minority stake in the app and control its data management. Washington, however, has indicated that isn't enough to assuage its security concerns. ByteDance has also floated the option of an international IPO, though the company says it'll need Chinese government approval for technology exports under any such deal. TikTok has expressed its disappointment at the blocking of new downloads and stated it'll continue to appeal the executive order, calling it unjust.
The European Commission announced Friday that it has sealed a deal with French drug maker Sanofi and British partner GSK to buy up to 300 million doses of an eventual COVID-19 vaccine. The move comes after a similar deal last month with AstraZeneca for up to 400 million doses. The EU has already committed around 2 billion euros to vaccine development and procurement. It's now seeking to boost that funding amid estimates that demand will far exceed supply when a vaccine is finally found. The World Health Organization is worried that big spending by wealthy nations could prevent poorer countries from accessing vaccines. That's a concern acknowledged by a Commission spokesperson as the deal was announced Friday. Take a listen.
The agreement will allow all EU member states to purchase up to 300 million doses of the Sanofi-GSK vaccine. In addition, member states may donate reserved doses to lower and middle-income countries, showing again our global commitment in the search for a vaccine which should be available to all.
Time now for a check on the day's trading action. Wall Street losing ground again Friday as tech shares continue their week-long slide. Investors a bit pessimistic about the arrival of an effective coronavirus vaccine and the possibility of new stimulus measures from the Federal Reserve. The Dow currently down around 0.9%, the S&P 500 off just under 1.2%, the tech-heavy NASDAQ down around 1.25% so far today. European indexes ending the day firmly in the red as well amid a spike in COVID-19 cases on the continent and ongoing tensions over Brexit negotiations. London's FTSE 100 and the Frankfurt DAX each ending the day down 0.7%. The CAC 40 here in Paris down nearly 1.25% at the close. But to Spain next, where the boards of CaixaBank and Bankia officially approved their merger Friday. It's one of a number of mergers in the works as European lenders face growing pressure from bad debts and low interest rates amid the coronavirus crisis. CaixaBankia expects annual cost savings of some 770 million euros by 2023. That's something unions say can only mean thousands of job cuts. Camille Nedelik reports.
A Spanish giant is born as CaixaBank and Bankia announce their merger, which will create Spain's largest bank, CaixaBankia, with a far bigger domestic footprint than well-known rivals such as Santander. It's set to have assets worth around 664 billion euros.
Esta es una operación muy positiva.
This is a very positive operation. It's an operation that means not only that Bankia shareholders have a bonus, but that in the future they will benefit from an entity with higher profitability.
Mayor rentabilidad para el año 2022.
For 2022, we could have an increase in earnings per share of up to 70%.
De casi el 70%.
Shareholders in CaixaBank would have 3/4 of the new bank's shares, while Bankia shareholders would have the rest. The Spanish government owns over 60% of Bankia and would have a 14% share in CaixaBankia. In 2012, the state bailed out Bankia with 22 billion euros, of which it has only recovered a fraction. Bankia's brand turned toxic in recent years after a failed flotation that saw many small shareholders lose money. Its management team at the time is now on trial for fraud. Likely to further inflame tensions is a plan to restructure, meaning a bank that was bailed out by the people could fire tens of thousands of them. One Twitter user compared the deal to the famous story of Alibaba.
It'll be called CaixaBankia Baba and the 40 Thieves. And to enter the office, they'll use the password Open Sesame.
The merger is due to be completed in the first quarter of 2021, pending approval from government and competition authorities.
Well, the director of the United Nations World Food Program is seeking urgent help from those who can most afford it, billionaires. Speaking at the UN Security Council, David Beasley said some 30 million people worldwide are at risk of starving, an ongoing crisis worsened by the pandemic and subsequent global economic downturn. Beasley called on the world's most well-off to do their part and donate directly to the WFP to feed the needy. Here he is.
Well, worldwide, there are about 2,000 billionaires with a net worth of $8 trillion. In my home country, the United States, there are 12 individuals worth $1 trillion. I'm not opposed to people making money. That's not the issue here. But humanity is facing the greatest crisis any of us have seen in our lifetimes. And it's time for those who have the most to step up, to help those who have the least in this extraordinary time in world history.
A nice thought. Could also try taxing them. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. That's an idea. I just thought.
Possibility, Brian, indeed. Thank you very much for our roundup of the business news.